Order. Question number 10, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question to the Minister of Primary Industries. Why is the Ministry for Primary Industries developing an import health standard for mushroom compost which contains animal manure?
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Speaker, the reason why MPI is developing an import health standard is that so mushroom compost which contains animal manure can be imported in a regulated and safe way.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Richard
Thank you, Mr
Prosser.
Speaker. To the Minister.
Order.
Can he categorically...
Order. Sorry to interrupt them. I just want a little less interjection so I can clearly hear the supplementary. Supplementary question, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister. Can he categorically rule out any risk of importing the foot and mouth virus, equine influenza, or the virus that causes porcine reproductive and respiratory syndrome in mushroom compost which will contain bovine excrement as well as, probably, faeces of horses, pigs and other farm animals?
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Well, Mr Speaker, what we have from the member is another crappy question. MPI...
I will just have the answer, please.
MPI will be assessing all of the risks to do with the import health standards, which will then go out for public consultation. It'll be based on scientific evidence and the public will be able to have their say before the import health standard is implemented, if they can indeed satisfy and manage the risks.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Why is he trusting European certification, given that in 2013 certificates labelled horse meat as beef, and this year MPI was assured that fodder beet seed shipments from Europe did not contain pest plant seeds when they were full of velvet leaf?
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
On this side of the House, it's all about fair trade, and MPI, of course, has been over and investigated the Netherlands plant through the whole process. They are now working on the technical aspects of the import health standard, and then, that, as I said before to the member, that will go out for public consultation. I'm sure if the member looks in his Rangiora supermarket on the weekend, he'll find there is New Zealand meat and there's also imported meat as well.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister. If the government is prepared to put New Zealand's biosecurity at risk and expose local producers to unfair competition on the basis of nothing more than trade ideology, will they take responsibility for the economic and other catastrophic consequences when it all goes wrong?
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Well, Mr Speaker, we have many import health standards. As the member is aware, and I told the Select Committee, we're reviewing the import health standards on the seed pathway. These are very technical. We balance up the risks. This is all about fair trade and making sure that we have very strong biosecurity processes. And if the member is interested, he might want to read this week's Farmers Weekly article where it talks about Nathan proves to be a good guy, talking about the focus that I have on the biosecurity system. If the member hasn't seen a copy, I'm happy to table it for him.